You probably click on this video because you want to remove some of the fat from your body, maybe on the belly, maybe the love handles or other places. Maybe you're interested in looking great and feeling great in your own body and being healthy, building that nice, good-looking, masculine physique. This is the right place to be. My name is Matt, and for the past 12 years I have been a personal trainer as well as master physiotherapist for thousands of clients, probably 1,200 clients right now, more or less, that I work with face-to-face and help them achieve much better health and much better physique. And if you're somebody a little bit like me who likes to simplify things and have a very simple system that gives solid results, then this video is probably for you. Biggest issue that I can see out there in social media, but also working with clients one-on-one, is overcomplicating things. So people like to take small nuances and think of them as of very high importance. That is oftentimes not the case. In this video, we're going to focus on 7 most important things, and starting off first and foremost with the most important. The amount of calories and proteins remains the most important aspect of the way you eat when it comes to thinking about losing weight or gaining muscle. The amount of fat that you're eating, the amount of carbohydrates that you are eating, when you are eating, if you're doing intermittent fasting, if you're on carnivore diet, if you're on a low carb diet, if you're on paleo diet, vegetarian diet, whatever that might be, all of that is of secondary importance. The amount of calories and proteins is the most important. That means that you can eat whatever you want. Now, that being said, let's move to point number 2, which is, obviously, you cannot eat just whatever you want. If you would be eating McDonald's only and match your calories and protein intake, you probably still wouldn't be too healthy because there are other health factors. You obviously need to eat a certain amount of minerals, vitamins, and so forth. Therefore, for myself as well as for all my clients, I always said that we're going to be following 80 to 20% rule. And basically what it says that 80% of whatever you're eating should be whole foods. So for example, lean sources of protein, maybe beef, maybe chicken or fish. Maybe that would be salmon, maybe you'll eat potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, eggs, avocado, olive oil. This should be the main bulk of whatever you are eating. But what's more interesting is that the 20%, let's say, roughly speaking, can be whatever you want. So for example, me, I am master at snacking different things. So I love chocolate, I love popcorn, I love like dripping honey on apples and on, let's say, yeah, different snacks basically. So I love snacking. And it's totally okay, as long as you stick to the point number 1, which is stick to your calories and proteins. It's totally fine, which again gives you way much more freedom than you might originally think. Next point is that you need to make a decision whether you want to lose the body fat or you want to build the muscle. Now, in some cases, you could potentially do both. So you could potentially build a little bit of muscle while removing some of the fat. But generally speaking, for most people, the most efficient way is to basically choose whether you want to lose fat or build muscle, because the approach is different. When you're building muscle, obviously you're gonna consume a bit more calories, but that might result in gaining just a little bit of fat as you're gaining your muscle as well. And when you're removing your fat, it's very difficult to build new muscle since you're in calorie deficit. So the muscles don't have the optimal environment to grow. And the issue over here is that a lot of people flake between those two. They cannot make a decision and therefore they cannot stay consistent with the right system or way of eating for them to see the real result. So make a decision whether you want to lose body fat the next 2 months, for example, or you want to gain some muscles, which probably will take many more months than just 2. But make a firm decision because the consistency of your approach will matter a lot. Now that you made the decision, whether you want to remove some of the fat from your body or rather focus on building muscle, now what you need is a blueprint, a daily system that you're going to be using to more or less know how much calories and proteins you have been eating. Now, I know from experience that not everybody is a big fan of tracking what they're eating using an app that tracks calories and macros. I know it takes a lot of effort, energy, and although I will always recommend you to do that actually because this is the most efficient way to do it, I also understand that realistically most people just not gonna do it. Maybe for a while, but not permanently. And that's fine. The second best thing you can do is to have a blueprint in the back of your head of basically how you're gonna be eating more or less every day. So for example, for me, it's usually 4 eggs in the morning as my breakfast, sunny side up, together with 2 toasts on the side, together with avocado and a bit of salt on top, with orange juice and a coffee. And I don't really eat it because it's healthy or something like that. I just generally enjoy the taste of that kind of breakfast and I eat it every single day, believe it or not. Now, 5 or 6 hours later, once I'm done with the gym session, once I'm done with working on my business and having my deep work session, then I will have my dinner. So maybe it's going to be 3, 4, maybe sometimes 5 o'clock, but somewhere around there I make a meal and I split that meal into 2, and I eat that with the break between maybe 2 hours, and that's usually going to be a big portion of beef or fish, maybe half a kilo even, and together with potatoes and sweet potatoes and rice, together with some veggies on the side. I will split that into 2 meals. And in the evening, because I'm a snack master, so I will eat maybe some popcorn, some chocolate, little pieces, maybe some apples and so forth. My point is not to focus on what I'm particularly eating, but that there is a specific system, right? So I have a breakfast that's more or less contains the same amount of calories every day. The same goes with the dinner split in 2 meals. It basically is more or less the same amount of calories. And again, a little portion of snacks in the evening, again, is more or less the same amount of calories. I have maybe 7 to 10 different types of foods that I'm generally eating throughout the week, and they stay consistent, they stay the same. So I don't have to calculate every single day new amounts of calories, because I know more or less where I'm at with my calories and my protein intake. That's what I mean with the blueprint. And if you want, you can check out the blueprint that I have for you in the description of this video. There's a link. You can download it for free, and over there will be a simple blueprint of how your day of eating could look like. I'm not saying it's perfect or that you have to specifically eat like that. It's just an example for you to understand even more what I mean. Your own blueprint can be similar. You can create your own. You can use the one in the description. But the basic is that more or less every single day could look similar for you. You calculate it 1, maybe 2 times, you calculate the right calories, macros, and that's it. Rest of the week, it's basically more or less the same. You can have slight variations in the ingredients that you're using. Maybe instead of beef, you're gonna use chicken. Maybe instead of salmon, you're gonna use chicken thighs. Maybe you're gonna switch the sweet potatoes with rice or pasta. Maybe you're gonna switch the veggies, but the main portions remain the same. And with that blueprint, it's much easier to remain consistent with the amount of calories that you're gonna be eating every day. Another point is that you really need that resistance training in your routine. Now, maybe it's obvious for you, I don't know, but some people want to remove fat without having any resistance training in their routine. Now, that's not gonna happen, okay? You need to have that at least 3 times a week is the minimum if you actually want to have the best benefits from it. You see, weightlifting will help you to build some muscles as well, and having more muscles burn more calories every single day. Even if you're just laying on a couch and doing nothing, just having more muscles helps you to burn extra calories, which then helps you to be more lean. People with more muscles in general tend to have much easier path to lose some of the extra kilograms of fat, rather than people that have little muscle but still have some fat. All right, another point is that your sleep needs to be in check. If you're also super stressed and maybe drink a lot of alcohol, then yeah, don't expect to have some great results when it comes to removing fat from your body or building muscles. And the reason behind it is that both hormonal system as well as metabolism, so the way your body processes matter into new cells, all of that is heavily, probably much more affected than you might think by the way you sleep, your stress levels, as well as how much alcohol you're drinking. Now, lastly, I hate to be sounding like some kind of spiritual guide or a spiritual guru, but the truth is that you need to forgive yourself for failing. Now, what I mean by that is that you will be failing for sure. There is very few people that decide, oh, from today I'm going to live super healthy and I'm going to have all my habits in check and I'm going to be on point, and that they actually succeed with it. So from my experience working with all those hundreds of clients, oftentimes after second, third week of initial motivation, now here comes the real, the struggle of maintaining the same nice routines. And the thing is that you will most likely fail. So there will be a social event, maybe you will start to get bored, maybe something will happen that it will break you away from that routine. Maybe you'll go on a binge, drink alcohol, or eat too much. And the thing is that you need to learn to pick yourself very quickly after those episodes. So you want to avoid basically spinning out of control and making one bad evening or one bad weekend spread into next week or 2 because you don't believe that you're gonna achieve your transformation. So learning to pick yourself up quickly after you failing, because you will fail, is also super important. All right. So yeah, just in this video, a couple of fundamentals when it comes to nutrition. I hope it's helpful. You can click the link below in the video to find a little blueprint with some of the meal propositions that might help you out to build this daily system of how your nutrition might look like every day. It's designed for like about 2000 calories, so rather for people who wants to remove the body fat. And if you enjoyed this video, click a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you on the next one. Ciao, ciao. Seen that technique? Absolute shit.